Hey team, excuse me. This week I'm going to be continuing my series on adjusting to the new work reality. Just let me adjust that camera and video a bit. In the office today, I am working from home, and funnily enough, that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about. There's a big adjustment that's happened. So where this came from, as I think many of you know, is I ran into my neighbour. He works for a really big Australian company. He's got a team of 190, and I was talking to him about the year ahead, and they've factored into their cost base the idea that every one of their staff of 60,000 people are going to be working on average 1 to 2 days in the office for 2021. And so it got me thinking that many of you will either be in that reality or some reality of adjusting the way that you're working, where you're spending, some time at home and some time in the office. 5 principles that I'm going to be talking about. I've already talked about 3 of them. Let me review them. The first one is, when you're in the office, prioritize connection and collaboration. It's much harder to do virtually. And, let's be honest, it's so much better when you've, when you've got people in front of you that you can see, feel, touch. Right, so prioritize that stuff. Be with your most important stakeholders when you're in the office. Number 2 is, when you're in the office and any chance you get, make time for water cooler conversations. The informal stuff that matters. You get it, right? It's like when you're there and someone wants to chat with you and take the chance to connect with staff, boss, customers, take that opportunity. Because it comes a lot less now that you're working from home more. And the third is, don't be a desk monkey. We've got to think about now how we use our time and space differently when we're in the office, but also at home, creating that space so you're really creative. But the idea here is that if you think about the fact that, digitization and automation is going to change. This is the first revolution of work, which is that we're working from home more. The second revolution is going to mean that a lot of processes are now done by people, will be done by machines. And that will leave us with what is left, which is the fact that when we're together and the way we work together, when we're in groups and teams, we're much more creative when we're bouncing off one another. You can't do that at home. Okay, but you can do it when you're with other people in the office. So think about the way you configure your space and the way you use your time when you're in the office to maximize that. All right, so that's the first 3. Today, what I'm going to be talking about is, just let me set it up for you, is the idea of resetting your availability. All right, so I'm just going to share the work I've been doing and the thinking I've been doing with you. Here we go. So here's the work we've done so far. I'm not going to review it. Here's what we're going to do today. Resetting your availability. The only contextual notes here, the only framing note for this is that, and I will write it down, is this is an opportunity you've had like no other. So the leaders I've coached over the years, every single one of them, they always say to me, okay, I go to work, I'm in meetings back to back. Okay, so let's just actually write down. This is the biggest problem, is that because of collaboration, the stuff I talk about, teamwork and working with other people and caring about people as a leader, you're in meetings all the time because you want to engage people, you want to get their input. So you're in meetings all day. Okay. And then the consequence of that is you have no time for your own work. Sound familiar? So this is, this is something I hear consistently, and it's something that will be there was there pre-pandemic, pre-COVID, and it's still there post-COVID. So a lot of people I've noticed have taken the meetings that they used to have face-to-face and they've created probably more virtual meetings than they had before. So the problem is, in some cases, exacerbated. Let me know if that's you, because we want to do something about that. Okay, this is a chance. It kind of gives you a bit of a reason to really think about how you use your own time and what you make available in your day. So here was the pre-COVID way, all right? For most of you, so the pre-COVID way was, for most people, 5 days in the office or outside the home, okay? Wherever that was. And the day kind of worked like this, is you'd have a home routine, you'd then kind of go into the office. The office would have a chunk of work. You would then leave the office, all right? And you'd have a post kind of work routine. Now, the challenges that most people had, let me move that over a bit, were that for a lot of people, that office time would bleed into the home time on one part of the day, either the morning or the afternoon. And most of that was because the amount of time in the day that you were in meetings versus, kind of that chance of getting your own work done. Now, I've always said with this problem, you've essentially got two choices, all right? You can delegate work, right? So actually get rid of the work, sort of trust others to do it. But I know that's not the reality in most organizations now, where they're delayered, they've got rid of people. Most people carry a team, and they also carry some line responsibility, customer responsibility, whatever that is. So that may or may not be possible. So you either delegate that work to others to free yourself up, right? Or you trust people and you attend less meetings. So you trust people to run them for you. And so in this post-COVID world where you're working at home more, the challenge is less about the office bleeding through, but how do you make that happen when you're at home all day? Okay, so now what you've got is this challenge of balancing the amount of that, sort of 10 hours, which parts of it do you make work, which parts of it do you make for home time, and which parts of it do you make for yourself? Okay. Now, I'm not going to go into the choices you make and your life and what's important, but here's my thing, is pandemics don't come around very often. Sorry, it's a bit weird because I can see a screen where I see myself and I keep getting distracted. I want to talk to you. All right. Pandemics don't come around very often. And when they do, they disrupt a lot of stuff. One of the things they're disrupting is people's work days. If you wanted to make a change in when you make yourself available for the family, for meetings, and for yourself, now's probably the time, because you're going to be at home more. And I think the biggest challenge we have is, you think about these two changes that I've traditionally made, even in the old environment, is just allowing yourself, right? Allow yourself to try a different way of doing it in this world, because we've been asking for this for years. We've been asking for more flexibility for years, people. And we've got to embrace it. We've got to take it. All right. So I hope that's gets you thinking. I don't want to be prescriptive about what and how and when. That's really your choice around how you want to live your life. But I hope that's given you a little bit of motivation to think about, in this world of work and office, how you make it work for you. I'm focusing massively on teamwork this year. If you've got this far on this video and you're really interested in your organization in improving teamwork, or you've got a problem with teamwork, send me a note. I would love to have a chat about how it works right now, identify where the biggest problem with teamwork is for you, and co-design a plan with you to try and make that better. Otherwise, see you on the next video. Love your work. Have a great week. See you soon.